Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight on the program, thedirtfan.com Super Late Models. It is now time for the National Series as we get set for another round here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Qualifying on the racetrack right now. My name is Brett Wheeler. Thank you for joining us. Alongside me is Jesse Pate. Jesse, well, we turn our attentions from the Pro Late Models. Now it's Super Late Models. And this time we've got the National Series up on the racetrack this time.
That's right, Brett. A little more horsepower, a lot more horsepower, and a lot more talent. As this is an invitational series, so these drivers earned their way into these seats. A lot of talent on the track tonight, and a lot of good racing we've seen already. So I'm excited to see another good event.
All right, I think I counted 28 drivers signed into the pit area for tonight. Daniel Powell on the racetrack right now, and the TeamBLI.com on the back of that car is one lap qualifying. Blake Majulis 15.853. Aaron Kitchen in the AA moving number 17 machine. He'll get his first lap in. Blake Majulis. Tyler Ducharme now second quick. Dylan Hauser third. Devin Morgan fourth. And James Grace going to round out your top five as little under half the field has taken a lap, or taken their only lap here in qualifying. Aaron Kitchen as well. He will get a lap time in of a 16.126 that time, or 16.142 in fact, so 18th quick as Morgan's taken a lap. Blake Brown on screen now.
Looking like maybe one driver didn't get a lap time in. Looking at Cloyd here. Showing a last lap, but no best lap.
Yeah, so 23 drivers taking a time. There's still 5 drivers that have yet to take a lap time. So a total of 28 cars signing into the pit area, but 23 only taking a time. I know there's about 25 drivers signed into the pit area that did take to the racetrack for qualifying. We'll have 4 heat races on the program. And we're still going to run a B main, but let's go trackside. Take a look right now at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for the first of 4 heat races here as the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. Zach McSwain going to start on pole. Tyler Ducharme will start position number 2. Dustin Sizemore going to start position 3. Tanner Tomasi will start position number 4. Gavin Collins going to start position 5. Barry Sorensen out of position 6. And Blake Brown out of position number 7. So all 7 cars are making their way onto the racetrack right now. It's going to be hard to go past Zach McSwain on pole, considering that he did go quick time here tonight. But again, Tyler Ducharme has been one of these drivers that have really taken to the liking of the super late models and also sprint cars as well. So always quick in the number 9 machine for Slick Sim Sports.
Yeah, as I look at the starting grid, it's all familiar names, all fast drivers. So this is going to be a very competitive heat to start us off today. Looks like only 4 or 5 heats. I'm not quite sure. And then 3 transfer spots, 4 heats, 3 transfer spots each. And then we're going to have a couple of B mains with 1 transfer spot up. So it's going to be a very competitive night here at Ultimate Dirt TV. And these drivers raring to go as we got one more around the track until we take our first green flag.
Yes, that indeed we do. So a couple of Slick Sim Sports drivers on the front row, McSwain and Ducharme. A couple of MDM drivers, I believe, on the second row. No, I don't even know what team Sizemore's on. Is he on a team or is he with MDM?
I don't have that information in front of me, but I know where to find it.
All right, tell you what, you go digging through the papers. You do what you got to do. Will lead us to the green flag here off of turn number 4 and wait for the pace truck to duck to the infield. That's McSwain and Ducharme. We get set here, heat race number 1. And McSwain already pulling 2 car lengths advantage down into turn number 1 and 2. Sizemore up on the inside on Ducharme. Ducharme around the outside. That looked like it might have been a little bit of net code, but anyhow, we stay green.
Yeah, one car around, but everybody else able to collect it there. A little unfortunate start there for Ducharme.
Oh, he'll have to come from the back of the B main Gavin Collins, who finished second in the Pro Late Models just over 45 minutes ago as he rides now in second position. But look at Barry Sorensen. He finished inside the top 5 as well in the main event. He's now looking for that third and final transfer spot over Dustin Sizemore down into turn number 3 and 4. 3 down, 5 to run. The battle is on for P3 and P4.
Yeah, Sizemore able to hold off on Barry Sorensen there. Just slightly lost that position for a moment, but able to hold it out. I'm being told he is a driver for MDM. Yes, that is correct. Sizemore does drive for MDM.
Thought so, but just wanted to double check that one before we said anything. But right now, he holds on to the third and final transfer spot. McSwain, Collins, those are the top 2 drivers at the moment. They have really checked out from third place driver of Dustin Sizemore, who again has got Barry Sorensen all over the back of him down into turn number 1 and 2. Sorensen unable to make the pass in the number 45 machine. It'll be 2 laps left to run this time by for turn number 4.
Yeah, Sorensen, fresh from that last race, he had a really good performance there. So we're going to keep an eye on him and see if he can get this transfer spot away from Sizemore. Sizemore looks like he's got the defense to hold him off. So we'll see how this plays out on the last couple of laps.
All right, 1 lap left to run this time by for your leader, the 25 of Zach McSwain out in front ahead of Gavin Collins, who sits in second. Dustin Sizemore still in third. Down the back straightaway for the final time, a 1.3 second gap for McSwain as he comes off turn number 4. McSwain gets the win. Collins going to come home second. Sizemore third. Fourth, there's going to be Sorensen. Fifth, we'll go to Blake Brown. Tomasi home in sixth, and we're about to see that 6th and final car on the racetrack as Tyler Ducharme pulled it back into pit road, knowing that he's not so much done for the night, but he's got a long way ahead of him to come back through the back of the B main.
That's right. These track positions are critically important moving on towards the feature. Those drivers doing well early on going to find themselves at the sharp part of the grid towards the end of the night.
All right, heat race number 2. Cars making their way onto the racetrack right now. As starting on, in fact, we're going to take a look at the Ultimate Dirt 2 starting grid.
Starting out the field is the number 127 machine of Blake Majulis in the P1 spot, and on his side in P2 is Dylan Hauser in the number 2 car. On the second row, we have Chris Fisher in the number 5 car and William Duvall in the 32 car in P3 and P4. Third row is going to be Tanner Folds in the 015 car in P5 and Daniel Powell in the 032 car in P6. And rounding out the field, we have Dalton Cloyd in the 30 machine in P7.
All right, another 7 cars taken to the racetrack right now. So this will be 14 cars so far in heats number 1 and 2. And as I said, I think we had 28 drivers signed into the pit, so we'll have 4 heats of 7. The drivers will get the 1 to green signal this time, bypass the iRacing, or behind the iRacing.com pace truck and on the front straightaway here. This should be a good matchup between Hauser and Majulis. I think if Hauser can time the start on Majulis, I think this is going to be a race for the ages between these 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, the track position, or the track state is also going to play a role here too. It's already started tracking a little bit from practice and qualifying, so who knows which part of the track these drivers are fast on and where they're going to throw it, so we'll see what happens. All right, coming around, lights off on the pace truck, so we're going to be taking green this time off that 127 machine of Blake Majulis as he takes an early start, turns his nose in, and goes towards the start-finish line. Into turn 1 goes the field. Blake Majulis leading the field with, let me just get my timing and score.
Yeah, that'll be Fish up into position number 2 on the inside. The number 5 machine, and Hauser falls back to P3 momentarily as Fisher now. He will claim second spot after the completion of lap number 1. Hauser going to work down low through turn number 1 and 2. William Duvall holding off Tanner Folds for positions number 4 and 5. But it's the top 3 on screen. Blake Majulis, Swindell Speed Lab in the 127 machine. Fisher now well clear, 0.4 of a second clear over Dylan Hauser. Then you go back to Duvall in third. Folds and Cloyd. Cloyd going to make contact there with Folds. And then here comes Daniel Powell in the 32 machine. High, wide and handsome down through turn number 3 and 4.
Yeah, what an eventful race this is turning out to be. William Duvall showing a lot of speed in practice, so he's moved up and challenging for that transfer spot away from Dylan Hauser. We'll see if he can chase him down and get that spot away from him. Chris Fisher really taking the fight to Blake Majulis here. He's trying to get up under him in the turns 1 and 2, but Majula's playing the defensive game, just riding around pretty comfortable here in that first spot.
Yeah, Majulis is out in front, and again, 0.2 of a second, less than 0.2 of a second now. Back to Chris Fisher, who made a good start there on the initial race start. Some 5 laps ago. We've got 3 laps left to run here, down in a turn of a 3 and 4. It'll be 2 to go. This time by for your race leader, Blake Majulis holding on, but here comes Fisher. Launching an attack right now, down through 1 and 2. We'll see what happens here in the last lap and a half, Jesse.
Yeah, Dalton Cloyd able to move up in that P4 spot away from Duval there as he falls to the back of the field as Blake Majulis leads him to the line. P1, Chris Fisher P2, Dylan Hauser P3, Dalton Cloyd P4, Daniel Powell P5, and Tanner Folds P6 with William Duval pulling it in the pits for P7.
Yeah, into 3 and 4 for the final time. This time by Majulis will hold on to a victory here. Heat number 2. Second will go to Fisher. Hauser third. Cloyd, Powell, Folds, and Duval back there in position number 7. So that is 2 heat races completed of the 4, which means we have got 2 more heat races left before we move into, I would assume, just the 1 B main tonight. But again, could be wrong on that one. We'll have to wait and see what the race server does, and that'll obviously determine on how many we take, whether it's been run as 1 or 2 B mains.
Well, the info tab is showing 2 B mains and then a warm-up and then a feature, so looks like that might be what happens.
Yeah, but the info tab's not right until it rolls over after the last heat race. Little fun fact on that one.
Good to know. That's new knowledge for me. Thank you.
Well, they say you learn something new every day. Is that 2 things I've taught you in the last 2 Sundays?
That's probably the 5 things you taught me in the last 5 seconds. I mean, you know so much about this that I'm learning so much more working with you. So, yeah, expert over here.
Not my first rodeo, buddy. Not my first rodeo. All right, heat race number 3 here at the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. Heat number 3, Jordan Casey going to line up on pole position. Devin Morgan will start to his outside out of position number 2. Second row, inside and outside, Eric Scalf going to line up out of position number 3. Position 4 is going to be Mitch Stiles. Position 5 is going to be Ben Countermarsh, and Daniel Passmore will roll off in position number 6. And Colton Zapansky will start position at number 7. Now, did you get that one? Zapansky?
Zapansky, yeah. I like that, the Pansky there. Yeah. That one's an easy one to remember for me for whatever reason. I think it just sounds a little silly and a little light and a little fun, and it's easy for me to hold on to.
It's real simple. Just look at his last name and take the first C out.
Yeah, just ignore the capital letter altogether and you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So yeah, Jordan Casey and Devin Morgan on the front row. Who do you think there is going to pull out in the front?
Casey.
Easy, Casey.
Easy for Casey. So? Easy clap. If he doesn't win, he's got some problems.
Well, he's got a little bit of iRating behind him, so I trust you. I think he's fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, both guys have got over 6,000 iRating. In fact, the top 3 are over 5,000. Eric Scouse, 5,053 as well.
Yeah, these guys have been running for a while. Really talented. They know their way around the service.
I think I've got like 4,700 and I barely race anymore.
Yeah, I've got to work on mine.
All right, here we go. Heat number 3. Pace truck moving to the infield. D1RT's Jordan Casey in the 42 machine. He will launch an attack. Green flag is out and he got a good start over Devin Morgan. We'll see what Scalf can do. Stiles on the outside there of Countermarsh in the 12 machine. That's your battle. The second and third on screen. The 112 of Devin Morgan. Scalf on the inside and the yellow and white number 26 machine. Second and third on screen. Everybody else is all fighting for a better spot in tonight's B main. But we got one car around Zapansky as well. But we stay green for the moment.
Yeah, a couple of cars getting together there at the back of the field as they run 1, 2, 3. Jordan Casey, Morgan, and Scalf. Scalf taking the Morgan here, looking for a slide job. He's not going to quite get it done, but he's up there on the door, and he's going to be taking a challenge to that P2 spot. Both of these guys sitting in a transfer spot, but these are drivers. They're competitive, and that's not always the best. That's not always good enough for them. They're going to try for more.
Yeah, they're all going to want to fight for a better starting spot in tonight's main event. Does Scalf losing his internet connection there? We'll see if he comes back on the racetrack, but at this stage it doesn't look so. So with him going out of the picture, it's going to be on to Up to Ben Countermarsh, as there he goes. He comes back on screen. There he is. He blinked out for a whole lap and still stayed on the lead lap. You don't see that very often.
Hey, not only did he stay on the lead lap, he stayed pinned to Morgan's backside. I mean, he popped in right, like, not even a car length behind. I mean, he's up there. He's trying to get that spot away. Hopefully his internet will hold tight for him.
2 to run this time by out of turn number 4, Jordan Casey. Looking comfortable, looking the goods. How to pick up the win in heat race number 3. Devin Morgan on the screen, started second. And riding in the second spot. I'm going to say he's getting a little closer than... He was about half a tenth quicker than Jordan Casey, the race leader. On the previous lap, will come to 1 lap left to run this time by Casey and Morgan. It's going to be on right now for the race lead down into 1 and 2. Morgan all over the back of him through 1. He's going to fall back by about a car and a half length down into turn number 3. Casey to the low side. Casey looking for the win here for turn number 4. Casey will get it. Jordan Casey, winner of heat race number 3. Devin Morgan home in second. Eric Scalf third. Calamarsh in 4th. Mitch Stiles in 5th. Passmore 6th. And Zapansky back there in position number 7. Oh boy.
Not sure if you saw that, but that was only about a 1/100th of a difference there. That was almost echoes of Hannigan. Who was it last week in the sprints that didn't quite finish his race? Oh, he let off the throttle there. He almost gave that one up.
You know how many broadcasts I did between now and last week?
You don't remember the Mark Martin moment that we had last week where one of our drivers didn't finish the last lap?
Mason Hannigan. Yeah, Mason Hannigan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, how could I forget? What a flog. All right, let's take a look.
All right, you ready for this grid?
Gotta say, I'm always ready. All right, let's take a look at your ultimate Dirt 2 starting grid. Heat race number 4.
All right, Shane James in the number 3 machine, starting out the grid with James Grace to his right in the 269 machine, John Alatic in the 60 machine, and Brett Fayer in the 013 machine on the second row, P3 and 4. And then P5, we have Aaron Kitchen with Evan C. not gridding in P6, and then Alex Payne in P7 in the 70 machine, rounding out the field.
Too easy. Actually, I didn't give him all that much stick after that moment last week.
Well, I took a look this morning, and he's leading points now.
Yes,
he finished that feature second after not finishing his heat race, and he is leading points. I can't believe it.
Well, it just goes to show you that you don't have to finish a heat race to finish inside the podium. You've just got to have a fast hot rod underneath you.
Yeah, and just a bunch of raw talent, apparently, because he drove straight through that field like butter. All right, lights off on the pace car. We're coming around to the green flag now, as Shane James will lead James Grace around turn 4. Late start, and they're on the loud pedal into turn 1. Shane James and James Grace into 1-2. And John Alatic following close with Brett Fayer on his outside. 2x2x2. They go through the back stretch into turn 3.
Yeah, right now you're watching on screen the battle on between Grace and James. Grace on the outside, James on the inside, down into turn number 1 and 2. It's a good battle on for the race lead, I got to say, but Shane James will have the lead down into turn 3. John Alatic working down low and looking for the second spot. Brent Fair on the outside looking in. It's all about her bragging rights for the top 3 at the moment to lock themselves into the main event, which I think is how many laps? 50 tonight?
I think the main event's quite a long one. Yeah, 75 laps, it seems. 80 laps total.
Are we here for 2 hours again or what? Steve, I'm not happy.
That's what InfoTab is telling me. I'm sorry, Brett.
No, don't worry. He'll be copping a word. He'll be copping a mouthful.
Oh, he'll hear, I'm sure.
4 down, 4 to go. Shane James, your race leader. James Grace riding in second. John Alatic in third. Brent Fair, Aaron Kitchen, and Alex Payne. This field separated by 2.3. Make that 2.4 seconds now. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Just 3 circuits remaining here in the final heat race of the night. And Shane James once again coming under fire, under scrutiny from the 269 of James Grace, who had a good run down through 1 and 2 on the previous lap. He gets a good run through 3 and 4, but again, just unable to capitalise, unable to mount any sort of attack on the number 3 HRE Motorsports number.
Yeah, John Altec trying to make this a race for us, but Shane James and James Grace not letting it happen. They're just playing the defensive game, holding on to those transfer spots. Looks like Altec's going to take a look up on the inside here as we come through lap 8 in the final time around this circuit, and he's not going to be able to get up to the door, I don't think. I mean, he might be able to throw a slider here. We'll find out.
And that'll be Shane James getting the win here in heat race number 4. James Grace going to come home second. John Alatic third. Brett Fair fourth. Aaron Kitchen to round out the top 5. Alex Payne going to come home sixth. And then Evan C, of course, did not even grid here in B main, heat number 4. B main number 1. Yeah, looks like we're going to be set into 2 B mains. I can just tell by the number of drivers in this one.
All right, good deal. More racing. I'm all for it.
I might be all for it until I found out we had a 75-lap main event.
Just more racing, bro. Just keep racing.
It's a half a mile of a racetrack. This shorter tracks I don't mind. Shorter tracks I don't mind for 75 laps. On a half mile, when you're doing... How many second lap times were we doing here? And I'm going back to qualifying to see what kind of lap times they were doing. 16-second lap times at the moment, so...
well, that's going to slow down a little bit with a slick track, too. And
yeah.
Oh, gosh. Can you imagine what this track's going to look like after 75 laps?
Slick. That's all you need to say.
Very dark. Very dark track.
Yeah, I was trying to word it properly. So
Dark and shiny. Dark and shiny is going to be the track state at the end of this.
That's it. Barry Sorensen. I'll just go through the Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. Barry Sorensen, Ben Kanamash in row 1, Blake Brown, Mitch Stiles in row 2, row 3, Tanner Tomasi and Daniel Passmore, row 4, Tyler Ducharme and Colton Zapansky.
Big old Zapansky back there, rounding out the field again. We'll see if he can pull something out of this B main race.
Let's see if he can pull something out of those pockets right near Zapansky.
All right, yeah, I mean, he's got him ready to go.
We'll see if he can pass more than Daniel.
All right, and see if Ducharme can pull himself up.
He's going to have a fast piece underneath him. What go through in this one? I didn't even check. Top 3? Top 4?
Looks like, did it change 6 to the feature now? Yeah, it was showing 1 to the feature earlier.
It probably would have. Hang on. Apparently, when you tell your kids you're broadcasting, they still got to come in anyway. You take this one.
All right, Barry Sorensen leading the field off, big gap to Ben Countermarsh in P2. He's going to throw a low slider, and Blake Brown going to follow it up in third position. Hold on, that is not right. Blake Brown in P2, and we've got Ben Countermarsh up in P3 as he goes around the outside of Blake Brown looking for that P2 spot, not going to get it done. Mitch Stiles following up in P4 with Tanner Tomasi on his inside looking to grab that 4th spot.
Yeah, Tomasi now by the inside of Stiles down through turn number 3 and 4, but the battle is on just in front of them as well. 2 by 2 for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Blake Brown holds on to position 2. Ben Kanamash in 3rd, 4th right now is Stiles. Tomasi working up on the inside. Tomasi getting a run now on the black number 09 machine. He'll stay locked down to the bottom side through turn number 3 and 4. What did you say go through?
Oh, I'm sorry. No copy. Tanner Tomasi. He's going up into P4 now. I mean, we've seen him drive the wheels off some of these rides around some of these track combinations.
All right, well, again, we'll keep an eye on the transfer spot. How many go through, Jesse? Was it 6 or 5?
6. It's showing 6 on my iRacing screens. We got a couple of cars around in turn 2.
Yeah, Ducharme and Passmore coming together there in turns 1 and 2, and that'll allow Zapansky into position number 6. So essentially, 75% of these drivers will go through to the main event. Just 25% will be sent packing.
Yeah, a little bit of a different style and format here. More of an elimination format than a earn your way through. I mean, most of these drivers are fine. I mean, if you're running out in the front, you're not too concerned. But these guys that keep on getting together, Passmore, Ducharme, they're fast. They should be in the feature. But if they can't stop fighting, then they're going to find their ways back to the trailer for the night.
Yes, don't forget, after this one, still plenty of action here on Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm going to say today for me because I've got still the 410s to come up after this one for the dirtfan.com 410 Sprint Car Series here at the Volusia. And then it's 12:30 9:30 Eastern. I've got Wings Only Racing. That's 4:10s at Fairbury. And then I finally get a couple of hours break. And then I've actually got to do a broadcast at 9:30 p.m. my time, which will be 7:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. So you
Good
guys
morning,
can,
yeah.
you guys can get some sleep and wake up to Ultimate Dirt to be going live.
Yeah, I'm setting my alarm right now. So Barry Swanson going to lead us.
We're going to time out just here. Steve just tells, and now he goes, you tell them, Patricia, to keep their pants on. It's 75 laps. Steve, why in the world are we going 75 laps on a half-mile racetrack? I swear he just does it to annoy me sometimes.
He knows how to grind your gears.
It really does grind my gears.
Because the fans want to see 75 laps of
fans
green flag
fans
races.
don't want to see 75. Fans do not want to see 75. Hang on. We need the security guard to kick him out of here, please. Old Jimmy, the security guard, is taking away him.
No, the drivers are around now. There's chaos on the track.
Good fun. How about Ducharme? He was involved in that accident. He's up to position 4, looking for 3rd right now on Styles.
Yeah, I mean, he was just in our last heat race, and he got caught up in the back, so hopefully he can make something a little bit more interesting happen. Hopefully he can get up there in that top 3 finishing spot for, I guess, bragging rights. I mean, he's moving on either way.
Yeah, well, you said the top 6 go through, didn't you?
Yeah, top 6 go through out of 8.
Alright, so we continue to watch this battle between Tyler Ducharme and the inside, the black and yellow number 9 machine for Slick Sim Sports. And then the 54, the pink and white machine of Mitch Styles. Working the outside of the racetrack, Colton Zapansky holding off Daniel Passmore for positions 5 and 6 as there goes Ducharme. He slides up the racetrack. It took him a bit of a while to get that slider complete, but he got the job done in the end as we'll have 1.5 to go this time by.
Yeah, I've got my eye right now on Tanner Tomasi because he's in that hot seat right now. He's the one that's going to get cut. Countermarsh is well back in the back, so I think his race is pretty much done. But Tomasi might be able to pull something out here on Passmore if he can keep a lap around.
Sorensen leads out of turn number 2 and down the back straight away for the final time. B-main number 1. Sorensen off turn 4. He is victorious. He will go to the main event along with Blake Brown in second. Ducharme will go through. Styles will go through. Zapansky and Passmore will make up the inside row from row number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Which means we've just got to sort out the outside rows from 7 to 12. And that will come via B-main number 2. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
Dalton Cloyd starts out the field in his number 30 machine in P1 with Brett Fair on his outside in the 013 machine in P2. In P3, we have the 032 machine of Daniel Powell, and in P4, we have the 17 of Aaron Kitchen. On the third row, we have Tanner Folds in the 015 machine with Alex Payne on his outside in the 70 machine, and William Duvall rounding out the field in the 32 machine with Evan C. not gridding in the 8th spot.
All right, so we're just going to interact with the Facebook chat here for a minute. Now, the reason I say 75 laps is too long because it's going to get one lane here at Volusia. And you want to know where it's going to be? Right.
Oh, where's that, Brett?
Not on the inside wall, but not in the middle of the racetrack. It's going to be right in the middle of that. So, right where the drivers on the inside row, you see where that slick line, that the lighter dust or the lighter clay is in turns 3 and 4?
Yes, I do. Yeah, all that light stuff.
That's where it's going to be. Right where the inside row is rolling now. That's where it's going to be. And after 75 laps, when the track gets black slick, and when it's single file for the race lead, after the 75 laps is complete, I'm going to say, I told you so.
Well, you hold on to that card in your back pocket, and I'll watch some good racing with you.
I'm throwing it out there already. It's already been thrown. Green flag is out. B-main number 2. It is Dalton Cloyd getting a good jump over the rest of the field. Daniel Powell, Brett Fair, second and third. Then you go back and take a look at Tanner Folds, Aaron Kitchen, Alex Payne and William Duval as well. So only one car out of this one is going to miss out. You don't want to be that one car.
Yeah, that's right. Brett Fair got a little sleepy on the start there and stacked up the right side of the field. So everybody on that inside line got a little jump on the field, and those guys are comfortably up in that top spot. But there is a fight for the not last spot of this B main.
Yeah, lap number next right now, but we go through and watch Tanner Folds and Aaron Kitchen, Brent Fair. Oh, look out, William Duval. Well, he normally only makes a couple of laps. He's around. We stay green for the moment. He's here. There it is. There's the yellow flag.
Yeah, just an unfortunate situation. He was on the bottom of 4 wide. You know, those guys off of 4 wide for not last is a sentence that I didn't think I was going to be saying tonight, but that was the situation he got caught up in.
Tell you what, I think the first 50 is going to be all right. Because this track right now isn't all that... It's not all that slick, so... Still a lot of moisture on the bottom, on the back straightaway. Even to like 3/4 of the way up the racetrack. Into turns... Turns 3 looks pretty good right now as well on the top side. They'll burn that off very quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, is how long is this cushion up there going to last?
Well, the cushion, it's obviously forming. Obviously, you know, the higher these cars get on the racetrack, it pushes the dirt up, and that's what forms the cushion. But you can just see where it goes, where they're rolling now. Just above that, the darker dirt. There's still a lot of racetrack left up there in 1 and 2. More so in 3 and 4 as well. In 3 and 4, it generally builds a bigger cushion where it's, you know, right up against that outside wall. So, I mean, there's still a whole lot of racetrack left to be thrown at with these drivers, especially in 3 and 4. Like, look at that. They're right through the middle there.
Right. I was watching in the B series earlier today how the track kind of developed over the night, and I was noticing a lot of interesting patterns like the entry to turn 3 and the entry to turn 4, but not so much the entry to turn 1 off of that straight. So the track and its tri-oval pattern kind of lends itself to having this asymmetric track in pattern, and it creates interesting racing, and I think it's been the cause of a lot of the track state changes that we see throughout the night.
All right, lights are out on the iRacing.com page track. Lights are out on the racetrack. We are set to refire the 7 super late models here in the second B main, the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. We are green once again here at the Volusia Speedway Park. 6 out of the 7 drivers going to make it through to the main event. 1 car going to miss out. Who will that car be? At the moment, it is William Duval back there in the 32 machine, but anything can happen over the space of the next 7 laps.
Yeah, cars up front getting a little feisty with each other, getting together, trying to get some better track position for their start on the main. You know, Duval taking that long line, just trying to stay out of the mess that's the lower line. There's all 4 drivers all coming together, just trying to occupy the same space. These drivers really just need to get around here and keep it clean so that they can secure their spot for the future, because one mistake could end your race right now for one unlucky driver. Right in the thick of things is the 013 machine of Brent Fair in the green and white with the purple. What's that purple rims on that car? Just, I think he needs to send those rims back off to the painters and get those painted a different color. Oh, well, you know, I think I've cracked the code here because I'm watching without trading paints at the moment, and that's the color of his main car and his iRacing base paint, so maybe that might be the problem. There's a very big problem. But anyhow, we're watching Brent Fair in the 013 machine. He is right in the thick of things once again. He's got Darren Kitchen just in front of him. That's 3rd and 4th on screen. 5th behind him is Alex Payne. Tanner Folds in the 6th and final transfer spot. You know what? We're going to go back and watch this battle for the final transfer position at the moment. William Duval will take that over Tanner Folds, but Folds now going to work back to the inside. Slaw thought about the big slide jump into 1 and 2, but backed out of it, realising that he was going to be nowhere near clear down into 1 and 2. But this time he'll throw the big slider into turn 3. Yeah, Duval able to get him on the crossover there and get his car back past him, and now he's going to get slid into by Folds, and they come together, but a hook on Folds. He wasn't quite clear, and Duval's going to drive off, and with that position, Folds now in that elimination slot. Yeah, trying again down into turn number 3 and 4. We'll go back up front. Dalton Cloyd. White flag is upon us right now. Final lap of preliminary competition into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4.
Checkered flag is out. Dalton Cloyd will be victorious. B-Main number 2. Daniel Powell going to come home second. Third is going to be Aaron Kitchen. Fourth is going to be Brent Fair, Alex Payne, and William Duvall will get the final transfer spot, with Tenderfolds being the only car from that B-Main going to be sent packing. We'll take a quick break and come back on the other side of this. We'll pay a couple of bills and play some ads and be back in just a few moments' time.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On behalf of the World Thunder iRacing League, Daniel Passmore, BJ Duvall, and myself, Stephen McMillan, we want to thank the people working the front lines to serve our hospitals, our grocery stores, gas stations, first responders, and military personnel. Remember, it will take every one of us to get through this pandemic. Continue practicing social distancing, and together we'll get through this. God bless each and every one of you. And we hope you will tune in every Sunday night for the DirtFan.com iRacing series, live on Ultimate Dirt TV.
All right. And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV for the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series live tonight, presented by World of Thunder Racing League, live from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. I was almost going back a week and I was about to say the Williams-Grove Speedway. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Jesse Pate. Jesse, it is main event time. It is going to be 75 laps on the board. You remember what I said?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a long one, Brett. We're in for quite a treat. What was it that you were referencing? What did you say to me? Remind me.
Once we get to those final 15 to 20 laps, it's going
gonna be too slick.
It's going to be slick as hell, and it's going to be all on the bottom side.
Well, I think between now and then we're gonna see some good racing.
You got that written down?
I'll hold on to that piece of information for you, Brett. I'll let you know if you were right.
Yeah, please. I'm always right. There's never a day where I'm wrong. I thought I was wrong once. Anyhow, let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting here. The first 6 positions are going to be just mixed up a bit, of course, according to the highest point scorers in the top 6. So Shane James going to start P1, Jordan Casey out of P2, Gavin Collins out of P3, Blake Majulis out of P4, P5 is Zach McSwain, P6 Chris Fisher, 7th on back is correct, Devon Morgan, P7, P8 James Grace, position 9 Dustin Sizemore, Dylan Hauser, position 10 Row 6, Eric Scalf. 11th. 12th is John Alatic. 13th is Barry Sorensen. Dalton Cloyd will roll off 14th. Blake Brown, 15th. Daniel Powell, 16th. 17th, Tyler Ducharme. 18th is Aaron Kitchen. 19th is Mitch Stiles. And rounding out the top 20 is Brent Fair. And the final two rows, Colin Zapansky at a position number 21 and Alex Payne at a position 22. Daniel Passmore, position 23, and William Duvall, position number 24. How many laps is William going to get here?
Oh, I think he can go the full distance if he just hangs back and keeps his nose clean. He's pretty fast around this track. I mean, he showed in practice that he can wheel it around here with the best of them.
Well, there's a difference, all right? There's a difference having 23 cars in front of you to where you can only have 8 or 10 cars in a hot lap session, in a warm-up session out on the racetrack, you know?
Right, so this will be a test in race sense for Duval. Let's see how good of his race sense goes over a long distance.
All right, so the pace truck is about to move to the infield. It is gone, and normally we'd be getting these guys to take to the green flag. The green flag is going to be thrown, however. The first 5 laps will get the drivers into their correct order. Again, the top 6 of the first 3 rows going to be sorted out from highest point scorers. And highest point scorer is going to start position 6. The lowest point scorer for the season will start on pole. Of course, that is going to be Shane James, Jordan Casey on his outside. So once they come out of turn number 4 and into turn 1, they are going to get the signal from race control to show you the most awesome sight in all the motorsports, and we'll go 4 wide once again here at the Volusia Speedway Park in just a few moments' time.
That's right, Brett. The 4 wide salute is coming to us right now here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Thank you to all the fans out there for making this possible so that we can get together and we can run these awesome events for you guys.
Now, there was a question before that I actually missed. Sean Stevens asking if my resolution is 1080p. Yes, it is. That happened like 20 minutes ago. Sorry, Sean, but... Alright, into turns 3 and out of turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. The drivers, they are 4 wide as their salute to you, the race fans, and thanking you for tuning in here to Ultimate Dirt TV. Jesse, I'm going to say these Super Late Model drivers, well, they've done what the Pro Late Model drivers did. They put on an awesome 4 wide. I'll tell you what, the sprint car guys are going to have a tough time next.
Oh yeah, this sprint car is a little bit harder to hold on to coming around here, and yeah, these guys, beautiful rows, beautiful columns, beautiful paints, beautiful cars. These guys really putting on a show for us. We are a lucky group of individuals to get to sit here and watch this play out.
Every week we see a 4 wide salute as the drivers come past the start-finish line here on the front straightaway. You see cars rolling 1, 2. A lot of cars just coming past the cameras right now, and we are basically 2 laps away from our main event kicking off. 75 laps on the board. We've seen 4 cautions in the Pro Late Model Series. We've got Super Late Models. We've got the best of the best in the house here tonight. How many cautions are we going to see in this one, Jesse?
Well, you know, I was just thinking 11 cautions. 11 laps per caution last time. If that holds true, then we're going to look at about 6 to 7 cautions during this feature. I'm hoping that's not true, because once we get to a tracked in state, then cautions are going to breed cautions. So I'm hoping that we can keep it under 5. That's the final answer, 5.
Alright, so he's going with 5. Look, I'm going to be very, very optimistic. I was actually going to say 3, but now I'm thinking... Yeah... Look, I'll tell you after the show. We get
very well.
We get set for 75 laps on the board. Shane James, Jordan Casey. Green flag flies. We are underway in tonight's National Series main event. James, here goes Collins up on the inside of Jordan Casey for second. McSwain, Majulis, they race side by side down into turn number 3, lap number 1. It belongs to HRE Motorsports, number 3 driver of Shane James. But look at Collins up on the inside. Again, then only 3 wide for the race lead. We'll go 3 wide momentarily down the back straightaway. Casey and Collins, They rob panels down the back straightaway. They gather it back up. Look at Devin Morgan coming through up on the inside.
Yeah, the top 6, top 7 here, really just a powder keg of power. I mean, just not a lot of room on the, widest track nearly on the surface, and still not enough track to work with these guys, as they all just trying to occupy the same space, as they all are on the same pace. They're all very fast, and they're just looking to get up and get clean and get clear of everybody and run their race.
Right now the battle is on for the race lead. Jordan Casey looking for the number 1 spot down the back straight away into turn number 3. James is right upstairs, right up near the Dryden billboard through turn number 3 and 4. Casey on the inside concrete wall will go down into turn number 1 and 2 once again. Side by side for your race lead. James and Casey, they continue a drag race down into turn number 3 and 4. Look at this track right now. I told you, Jesse, the first 2/3 of this race is going to be some good 2 and 3 wide action, and already in the opening 5 laps we are seeing 3, even 4 different lines coming into play.
That's right, and as they go 2 by 2 by 2 down into turns 1 and 2, I was just thinking, like, all these guys are just running tandem around here. 3 wide constantly back in the pack. I mean, there are ways to get around here that are fast, and there are ways to get around here that are defensive, and these guys are all up and down the racetrack trying to get a leg up on their competition, and it's quite a show to watch.
Yeah, top 4 on screen right now. Shane James, your leader in the 3, the blue and white number 3 upstairs. Then you go back to Jordan Casey in the 42. That's the white, and I think that looks to be an orange car to me. The red's behind him. The red and white is Zach McSwain, and the green and white. So a lot of white race cars out here at the moment. And Devin Morgan, Zach McSwain, they race side by side for 3rd and 4th, just behind your top 2 drivers at the moment. Jordan Casey and Shane James. Shane James not shying away from that top spot of the racetrack. 9 laps in, and our first yellow comes out.
Yeah, it looks like Zapansky, Duval, and Styles all getting together in the entrance to turn 1. The entrance to turn 1 on that lap actually saw a couple of different incidents. The last one just being the one that turned somebody and pulled out our yellow. But yeah, these guys are starting to get a little racy. They're starting to feel the track under them, and this is a feature, so these guys are going to run hard.
Well, when we go back green, we'll have 9 complete. So we had an average of what was 11 last race, wasn't it? In fact, it was
Correct.
It was
11.
10, because we technically had 40 laps, 40 green flag laps, and we had 4 cautions. So, again, simple basic math and numbers I've got covered. All right, if we start to throw in some letters, then I'll just happily sit back and let you do your math, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, if you need any logs done, I got you covered.
All right, so, okay, let's go. So, 4 cautions last one. We've got 1 already. We've still got, 1480, so 66 left. Again, some quick math on the fly. It's just simple math. I love it. Don't have to work
Easy
too
math.
hard.
A lot of racing left to go.
A lot of racing. Track looks absolutely cherry ripe at the moment. It looks good.
Yeah, it's going to get tracked in all over with all these guys running up and down this track, though. And it's interesting to see where the track tracks in the most early on. Entrance to turn 3 looks like the worst offender.
Alright, lights are out, dialing your iRacing.com pace truck. Shane James, the Delaware double file restart. Again, leader has the front row to himself. Second spot will opt to choose inside or outside, and that is Jordan Casey, so he has opted to go to the inside. Everybody else will have to fall in line and be told where to go from the iRacing race control. Look at the drivers from the 5th row on back. They were trying to get a jump and thinking that James is going to go early, but credit to the drivers. They all backed off the throttle and, they kept it clean for the most part of that restart. Devin Morgan on the outside of Jordan Casey. Majulis is upstairs as well. Majulis running the same line as what your race leader is doing at the moment. Down into 1 and 2 we run, and Devin Morgan. Boy, Shane James, you're about to have company, because here comes Morgan with a full head of steam down into turn number 3.
Yeah, looking for speed on that mid-low line. Looks like he's going to be able to hedge out just a little bit coming out of turn 4. A little bit more momentum for James there coming out of turn 4, but he's not going to be able to hold on to that top spot, as I think Morgan's got a little bit more on that low line than what James can pull out on that upper line.
Devin Morgan has been superb in this one. He started inside your 4th row, position 7. And it's just a case of 12 laps to get to the front to pass 6 cars as he now looks to move away from Shane James and Jordan Casey, who have pretty much gone at it the entirety of this feature event so far. But again, it's early goings at this stage, still 62 to go.
Yeah, that's right. Blake Majulis looking like he wants to go down a little bit more on that lower line. He's starting to fall down a little bit compared to Shane James up there on that top line as we got a car upside down spinning on its roof in turn 2.
That wouldn't happen to Mitch Stiles, would it? Or Daniel Powell? Daniel Powell.
I think it's Powell.
Yep, 32 machine. Daniel Powell going to be flipping here, so we'll get to take a look at your Wicked Cushion instant replay for the first time tonight. I had this problem the other night.
Oh dear.
Yeah, see what was going is his ATVO was actually being a bit of a spastic and just rolling through the numbers.
Oh wow, he just got ran through. My goodness.
Initial contact was Gavin Collins. Sorensen hit him. Alatic hit him. The contact with Alatic hit him upside down, and then Brent Fair coming through in the 013 machine. So
yeah, just a little turned, and then, you know, everybody behind him is just running right over him. I mean, nobody else has anywhere to go really either, so that's just an unfortunate. He took a wild ride, that's for sure.
That indeed he did. The 112, the TeamVLR.com entry, the Dreamer Racing Series, the S&G graphics of Devon Morgan, your race leader. Of course, a big thanks to our sponsors here at Ultimate Dirt TV. A big thanks to Wicked Cushion, World of Thunder iRacing League, DirtFan.com, iRace Wraps, ISBC Broadcasting, and the latest one that we picked up over the weekend, of course, is Critical Hit Baits. It's almost a clickbait, right?
No, I think it's more of a pun. I think it's a good name. I think you said it first time on the last stream, and I thought to myself, oh, that's a good name. All right, coming around to the green flag here on the Delaware double restart. Daniel Powell leading the field, or Devin Morgan leading the field in front of Jordan Casey and Shane James in those top 2 spots. 3 wide for P3 going out of turn 2 onto the back stretch.
Yeah, down into 3 and 4 we go. Watch Shane James on the top side. Majulis on the inside of McSwain on the exit of turn number 4. So Majulis now going to move up to position number 4. Look at Blake Brown in the 74B machine. I think someone was about to come out of pit road just then. Just keep an eye on that one. Not sure who it was, but man, I'll tell you what.
I think that's Powell back out on the track.
Oh, McSwain hard into the wall on the exit of turn number 4. We stay green for the moment that there is the yellow flag.
Yeah, a couple of more cars getting together there too on the entrance to turn 1, so that's an unfortunate event where the yellow was already out.
That's 3.
Now, turn 1, there were some cars that came together after the caution.
3rd caution.
Oh, 3rd caution, yeah.
Is it 3rd or 2nd? 3rd, right?
I believe that's our 3rd caution, yes.
Well, I mean, I was hoping for 3 and 75 laps.
Well, we're, what is this, 18 laps in? 17 laps in, and we've already had 3 cautions. So these super drivers getting a little bit more competitive, a little more gloves off. I mean, that's always kind of the MO. These drivers are no holds bars. I mean, they're out here to win.
If I was to
talented.
do a strength of field for this race, I'm going to bring the calculator up. Hopefully it doesn't show up on the main screen. And it does, of course it would. I was going to say, if I could do a strength of field for this field, I reckon we would be looking at, I would say, around 5k strength of field.
Yeah, I mean, easily above 4,500,000. Like, lots of numbers higher than 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 9,000. Yeah, there's a lot of talented drivers in this field. 8,000. A lot of big I rating numbers. So for those of you out there that aren't aware of what I rating is, that is the value that iRacing tracks for your account. that strictly looks at your finishing positions and the I rating of those who finished around you. So if you finish in the top half of the field, you gain I rating, and if you finish in the bottom half of the field, you lose I rating. And all of that I rating comes from the others in the race. You all enter the race together, and your I rating's in the pool. And when you get your finishing position, it will add it all together, do all the math behind the scenes for you, and spit out your new I rating after the event. So those that win, those that come in the top of the field very often get higher I
I've done
ratings.
it.
And what's our strength of field here? That is the average I rating of the field.
What did I say as a guess? 5,000?
Something like that, yeah. 5,000. I said easily over 4,500.
4,903.
I think we were both right.
Look, I'm just going to round it up, okay? And because, it's gone past 4,900, I'm just going to round it up to 5,000.
So what other iRacing races can you point at that have a 5,000 strength of field outside of just the Pro Invitationals?
Not a whole lot.
I'd reckon that our Winged Sprint might even go higher with all of the black licenses that show up at the late night.
Yes. Race. Yeah, that might be a good... We might have to have a look at that one as well. We'll have a Captain Cook at that one later on, but green flag back out. We start lap number 23, but essentially 18 of 75. Still 67 to go. 67 to go this time by it'll be off for turn number 4. Devin Morgan, Jordan Casey. And it's going to be a battle between... It's going to be Hauser up into P3, yellow.
Wow, big pile up out of turn 4. I mean, lots of cars involved. There's a traffic stop at the end of turn 4. I mean, just the entire track was covered in sideways dirt late models. So not looking good for the 5 cautions today. I think we're on 4.
Look, I said 3 on top of your 5, so I said 8 in total.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, between the two of us, we might stay under 8 if these guys can run like 45 laps green straight.
We got to think this is the National Series as well. We're at 4 cautions already, and we've still got 57 to go.
So these guys definitely can make 50 laps around here green. Will they? I mean, that's up to them.
No.
And I think we all know the answer to that. Easy no. No, they're going to get out there. They're going to fight. We're going to see some gloves off racing. A couple of people are going to get turned, maybe another car on its roof, but we're going to have a good time here on Ultimate Dirt TV regardless.
That indeed we are. But it is going to be Daniel Powell getting a little bit of a helping hand from race control. After that violent flip, he went back to pit road, and he ended up crew getting that repairs done on the 32 machine. So he'll tag the back of the bus. Daniel Passmore has called it quits. He's parked the number 8 machine on the hauler, and we're going single file restart.
Yep, just saving the virtual engine there for what would likely not be a fruitful finish. So these guys not actually having to maintain their hardware, but in the virtual world we pretend. All right, and Devin Morgan brings him to the green flag on the loud pedal with Jordan Casey close behind, and Shane James in that 3rd spot with Dylan Hauser taking it to him. A little bit of a gap forming there, but Hauser pulling back up to James's rear as he's occupying the entirety of the rear view screen there for him as he gets up a little bit into a little bump and run, and Hauser stacking up the field a little bit as they go 5 wide, and yeah, we just got another car around, another yellow flag coming out. Big mess at the front of the field for that restart.
I can tell you who's not going to be happy.
Is it race control? I bet it's race control.
You know it's race control. He's going to be absolutely spewing at this one. Just for the simple fact that this is the National Series. This is an invitation league, and the pro late model drivers did a better job. How many cautions did you see in the B Series, by the way?
I think we had one major incident, like out of everything. I think we had just one like under pacing incident that was weird, and otherwise things ran very smoothly.
Well, well, well. There we have it. Again, if you're just joining us here for the first time, we're the only broadcast company over 10k followers on Facebook, and Facebook offering a fan subscription to us here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Blake Majulis going back to pit road, getting the crews getting some right rear fender panel damage fixed on that machine. Steve. This is why I didn't want to do 50.
Well, I mean, this is gonna save our track a little bit. I mean,
It is, but at the end of the day, we've still got to turn 75 green laps on it. But in saying that, you know, had this race gone green to checker, excuse me, would have been a different story, and Steve would have been like, so yeah, about that 75 laps, huh?
well, you know, that's why you placed your bets and he placed his. So we'll see who wins. I mean, looking pretty good for you right now, though, as caution laps are not counting right now.
49 left to run. So officially 25. No, that's 20. We had 5 laps at the start. Never mind. Simple math again. It's now burnt me. Single file restarts. Morgan, Casey, Hauser, the top 3. We're back underway. Back to green flag action here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. And again, Casey going to slide up to the middle of the racetrack. Hauser trying to peek and put that Slick Sim Sports number 2 machine to the inside. He'll make the pass into turn number 3. Will he complete it? Look out, there's a little contact. Some right side and left side fender love action between Casey and Hauser.
Yeah, that's the same kind of racing that ended up pulling out that caution. So hopefully these guys can keep it clean this time around as they go 3 wide for P4. Chris Fisher, Tyler Ducharme, and Blake Brown all fighting for that 4th spot, hoping to get up there where they can challenge for a podium position.
Yeah, just looking at Ducharme, he started position 17th and looking for a top 5. And when you think about 24 completed so far, or 23 completed, this will be lap number 24 completed. He has picked up 12 positions right now. And again, that Slick Sim Sports number 9 machine, if he continues on his merry way, there's no doubt in my mind that he will be able to get a podium position. Speaking of podiums, we go back up and watch 2nd and 3rd on screen. Now we are officially 25 down, 50 laps left to run in tonight's main event. And once these drivers get into a rhythm, hopefully the laps will start to tick off for them.
Yeah, 1/3 down and 2/3 to go here at Volusia Virtual Motorsports Park as Dylan Hauser takes it to Casey here, looking for a way around the outside. He's not going to quite have the momentum to put a move on him, but as this track comes in, I think Hauser might have something that he can take to Casey and maybe get that P2 position away, and then maybe eventually chase down Morgan, as he's got a massive gap forming up there in P1.
Yeah, Morgan holds nearly a 1 second advantage. In fact, it's 9/10 of a second back to Dylan Hauser between Morgan and Hauser, 1st and 3rd. But again, the battle on screen, 2nd and 3rd drivers at this stage. Let's go back and take a look at Barry Sorensen on the outside. He's got Alatic and McSwain, former teammates McSwain and Alatic back about a year ago. But anyhow, back up to the podium positions. Here goes Hauser with a run down the back straightaway. He will move up on the inside just as the yellow flag. It's Eric Scalf in the 21. Just as Hauser got to 2nd, the yellow comes out, but he will not have the spot because we'll go back to the last recorded lap, and that means that'll put Jordan Casey back to position number 2.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we came really close to a lap car causing a lot of damage up front there as that car came around. I mean, I didn't even catch it looking at my aerial view. So I was about to comment that if we go green for very long here, we're going to see lap traffic play a role in this race, and we almost just saw it happen right there.
All right, so another caution here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. This is the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series Invite-Only League. Top 15 from last season's points, and then a Super Late Model Mini Shootout Series. 15 drivers got an invite, and that would have had 30 drivers technically, and then the B series that is run. What time's that run? It's like 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. 4 Central, 5 Pacific time. Yeah, that's right.
So drivers from that.
Yeah, 5 Eastern time. Yes.
Yeah, so drivers from that one getting an invite into I think he invited the top 3, even top 5, just due to the fact that some of the drivers so far or that have been invited to the National Series haven't run. So Steve McMillan keeping this field short, but very stacked and talented, and trying to pick a winner each and every week here in the Super Late Model National Series, of course, presented by DirtFan.com and World of Thunder Racing League. It gets very difficult to see who goes to victory lane or find out which driver is going to go to victory lane. That's for sure. These drivers have got a lot of talent, and now the field is showing Eric Scalfa a lap ahead of everybody. But hopefully that'll all get fixed up here.
Yeah, as Devin Morgan here coming to the green flag. Jordan Casey following right behind as Dylan Hauser still staying pinned to that P2 spot, looking to move up. And the rest of the field falling into position as we got a couple of 2-wide instances farther back. Most everybody given space, and got a yellow flag out. I'm not sure exactly what the source of that is. It might be race control.
Yeah,
it is race control.
And I'll tell you why. It's because they waved Eric Scalfa around. They shouldn't have done that because he was never technically lapped when the yellow flag came out. Yes, when the yellow flag came out, the leaders went by him, and this just comes back to just practice because there's been a number of times where it'll show a driver behind the guys. You know how if you look at your relative when you're racing and it shows them in red or blue,
right?
It'll show the drivers in red, which obviously then the driver will say, "Hey, listen, showing me a lap down, can I get a wave round?" So if race control decide just to get the driver back on the lead lap, which is all fine and fair, but the fact is once they wave them around the pace car, the laps never change on your relative. So the leaders obviously will be, say for instance now on lap 36, right? If he was to get a wave around, it would put him a lap ahead of everybody else. It would still show him on lap 36 as well, but until we go back to green, they've just got to do what iRacing tells them to do in that little that little black box that comes up on the top of your screen, when you're rolling around. So if it says stay behind the 42 or stay behind the 2, you've just got to do that because iRacing will fix it up. Then it'll tell him to let all the cars by, but he's still going to be stayed and scored on the lead lap.
Yeah, I've always stuck to, and it's always served me to just follow what iRacing tells me to do. Just whatever I think I should be doing, just follow what the box says. Just do it.
And it's really not like it's okay for us to sit here and do this, but again, when you got Steve and William's actually racing, so it's Steve trying to control a 24 car field. He's got to look at everything, and sometimes it just gets the better of you. We're all human, mate. We all make mistakes. It's nobody's fault, but we'll go back to green. We'll talk about it more later on. If we are, no doubt we'll get another caution as we start what is going to be lap 37 on the ticket. And don't forget we take away the 5 laps from that one, but it's Casey holding on to second spot. And right now, all drivers, look at them all just hugging that inside wall, Jesse.
Yeah, there's a couple of drivers making that outside line work. I'm not sure if it's faster, but it's safer for sure. It's a lot easier to drive around that outside and just feel comfortable. And that might be what some of these drivers are trying to accomplish, is they're just trying to get through this race. They know there's going to be a lot more cautions coming out, and they just want to keep their car clean. And out there on the outside line gives you a lot of room to work to get away from any of the nasty incidents that might happen in front of you.
Now closing in on 40 to go in just another lap or so. It'll be 41 as there goes Hauser, makes the move on Jordan Casey for that second spot. Here goes Blake Brown, the 74B now on the inside. Ducharme to round up the top 5. Tell you what, Ducharme is right there with him. Any mistake from Casey or Brown, the 9 is going to be there to pounce. And I thought he was trying to peek to the inside. There might have been contact with Brown and Casey, but again, no harm, no foul. 40 laps left to run in this one.
Yeah, Brown just got 2 cars on his rear, so, he really can't be throwing those slider moves where it costs him time if he doesn't get it done. He's going to have to fall in line, and he's going to have to pull a gap out before he can start throwing moves again, as it looks like Jordan Casey is starting to take a fight back to Dylan Hauser again, looking for that P2 spot.
Yeah, just watching it right now on Tyler Ducharme. He went upstairs in 3 and 4. And I'll tell you what, when he hit the cushion, he pretty much, the right rear bounced off the cushion, and that left front just lifted up massively on the exit of turn number 4. Watch it here, ready? Watch this, down into 1 and 2, into 3 and 4, and watch that left front just pick up.
Yeah, just completely airborne, three-wheeling around this place. You know, you need all 4 tires, but you don't need them all at the same time.
Just look at that left front pick up on the exit of turn 2 as we go into 3 and 4 again. Ready? Hits the cushion. There it is, the left front. You might as well leave it at home sometimes. This is what they can get around here on 3 wheels. You don't really need the left front, but you do as well. But Jordan Casey holding on to the 3rd and final pony position, just in front of him by 3/10 of a second is Dylan Hauser, and then it's a 7/10 of a second gap from Hauser to your race leader. 40, that was lap number 45 complete, so 40 down and 25 to go.
I'll tell you what, Brad, that image there of the three-wheeling going around turns 3 and 4, that reminds me of, did you see the COTA race where Sebastian Vettel broke his right rear suspension and he was three-wheeling around COTA? That looks very similar. It's the exact same image. Yeah, Ferrari three-wheeling like these dirt cars. These cars are meant to do that, though. So nothing broken on that car. He's just finding the fast line around, and he only needs 3 rubbers to do it.
Yeah, that indeed does. We're watching Slick Sim Sports. Dylan Hauser on screen. Got iRacing iFlag on the left rear quarter panel of the number 2 machine. Also for Down Under Graphics as well. The number 2 has been very competitive over the past 4 or 5 weeks now, but again, just hasn't had a whole lot of luck, and now starting to find some luck. I think the last season we were here, I'm pretty sure Hauser podiumed.
Car around in the entrance to turn 1. 2 cars coming together, coming out of turn 4, and just got hooked up coming down the front stretch. So we're going to see another caution come out here. Those guys just ran a couple of good laps of green flag racing for us.
Yeah, it must have been about 14 or 15 or so in that one. So again, another good run. This track is getting a little slicker the more and more these drivers, turn some laps on. And again,
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is all those restarts is kind of starting to track in turn 1 a little bit more than the rest of the track, huh? Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to me how the patterns on this track come in. I mean, it's not like any of the other tracks on the service, it seems. Really unique lines start to form, and they change up very, very quickly and sporadically on these racers. So a lot of moving around, just trying to look for speed, and just a temporary couple of laps of speed that might wear off after running around a couple times on that same line.
Alright, so waiting for the lights to turn off on the iRacing.com page. Track 2 to green. 30 laps left to run in what would normally be considered a normal main event for most cars, a 30 lapper. It really can go by. We're talking lap times earlier at the start of the night. I think they were about 15.7s or 15.8s in qualifying, and right now the fastest lap is, from what I can see, a 16.7. So just think that the track is, a full second slower from what we've seen at the start of the night right towards the end of the night as well.
Interesting. Yeah, would have been an accordion effect going on here. These drivers need to focus up and get around here cleanly for these caution laps. So let me ask you, as these drivers get around to the end of this event, do you think fuel calculations are going to play a role in this race?
I mean, late models, I don't think so. But again, it's all about the driver. I don't, all these guys are well experienced enough to not sort of undercut it, knowing that it's going to be 75 green flag laps. I think they would have had their work, their fuel numbers and stuff sorted out.
Looks like we might be seeing a single file restart here. No, I mean, there's a car around out of 4.
That indeed there is. Brent Fair in the 013 machine.
Yeah, he was having some trouble getting that car pointed the right direction. He got spun on the restart. So really close to doing a lot of damage to the leaders there. Good job on the field of getting woed up and checking up and keeping things clean as Fair there gets control of his machine again.
Yeah, just watching there out the back of the race leader, Devin Morgan, in the 112 machine. You can just see him sort of just going down low right here into 1 and 2, just looking at the racing surface, just seeing what kind of what line might be faster, where he can sort of maximize the traction in that number 112 machine. Last lap he went upstairs in 3 and 4 and just sort of gassed it up a bit just to see what kind of, see what would happen, once he, mashed the throttle down to the floor, see what kind of start he could get. So that might be an indication he might just gas it up here as well.
Yeah, these talented drivers, they know that every piece of data is important. Anything that they can find out, find some speed on the track during these caution laps, that's going to help them with their race finish position.
Alright, I believe the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace track. There it is now, looking back out at the rest of the field. Single file restarts coming here. The DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. We are 31, make that 29 laps away from our main event wrapping up. Slick Sim Sport still in house. You can see getting that front bumper as close as he can to the rear of the chassis and the spoiler of Devin Morgan as we get set to go back green. Oh, look out. Hauser trying to time the start. Hauser's going to go around.
Oh, no. That's not what we like to see here. That was a messy start, to put it lightly.
I'm not even going to attempt to comment on that one.
Yeah, then just, what your mom taught you. If you don't have anything nice to say, just keep your mouth shut.
Well, she taught me that, but I didn't listen.
Oh, no.
Well,
Well, tell us what you think about that, Brett.
I'm not gonna. Ready? The class of this driver. Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Right, the class
Yeah,
of...
I caught that one.
Don't understand, Yeah, you got a beaten up race car, but, why just drive it into the wall and potentially come down and ruin someone else's race? But...
yeah, unfortunate. Don't be that person. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're about.
That's funny too, because, you do that kind of stuff and I'll show it on there. I'll make you look like an idiot, so...
Yeah, I mean, either you don't show the images at all and control your broadcast, or put it out there and show them that they're going to be made a fool of if they make a fool of themselves.
We're not going to assume that it might have been a black flag because it's passing on the inside. Now, I don't think any black flags get cleared here, so that could be the reason why he decided to, destroy his car and end his night. Again,
well, there are safe ways to get off the track that don't affect the other racers.
Yeah.
There are plenty of exits, plenty of space on the inside of the backstretch, plenty of exit space on the outside. There's places you can put your car.
Well, interesting to see that Hauser has moved back up to second. I'm not sure what race control is going to make of that one. We didn't show a replay. We're not going to. Again, we're not going to make an assumption on what happened. We kind of seen it.
So a lot of these drivers not looking very cozy with each other on this long stretch race. I think we're starting to see a little bit of impatience coming out. Maybe that's something interesting to keep an eye on these long runs.
It's frustration as well creeping in. These guys, you know what? I'm going to say it. There's a lot of egos out there. They all think they're the best. Okay, and that's fine. They're entitled to. They are. There's a reason why they're in this series. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be able to be anywhere near these guys in a super late model. But when you got egos and, thinking that they'll just run over someone, or whether they'll just go and fence someone, or do something stupid. The egos is what can get in the way of a good race, and unfortunately, it's showing here tonight.
Right. I mean, just getting out there in the car, getting in the seat, and thinking that you can drive faster than some of these other guys is just. It's self-centric in itself. I mean, every driver out there is self-centric. That's the nature of the beast. So all of these guys are going to try to take what they can. They're going to pick up every inch, and they're going to give nothing. So we wouldn't expect anything less. And honestly, we wouldn't want to watch anything less. We want to watch peak competition. We want to watch these guys give their best.
Anyhow, I believe the lights are out. No, they just came back on. So we are just race control, just sorting what they do have to, what they've got to sort out. So again, we do apologise about the continued laps here under yellow, but when you've only got one man behind the scenes that is doing the admins here tonight, Steve does a wonderful job. And we've got to also make clear that it's not the lead that's doing this. It's all the drivers. You can't blame anybody else except the 24 drivers that are on the racetrack.
Yes, all of the rules and regulations that World of Thunder have set out have really fostered a good racing environment, and Steven does a great job to keep them true and keep them enforced, and do it in a fair and impartial manner. And
I'll throw this one out there too. Late model drivers on iRacing, they are the biggest crybabies in the world.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, but
you're a late model. Yeah, you're a late model guy too. You do exactly. Yeah, see. Yep.
I don't disagree. How about
Patricia, I'm not sure. I think we've lost track of the cautions.
Well, I think Steven's trying to get everybody on the same page, but I think some people are illiterate out there. Oh, was that too mean? Sorry, that was a little insensitive. But yeah, no, I think we need to teach some late drivers how to read, so we can get all on the same page.
Anyhow, we'll just wait. We'll keep going. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in here to Ultimate Dirt 2. We've still got 2 more broadcasts. We've got 2 410 sprint car shows to come up over the next sort of 2-3 hours of this one. Evan, I agree with you. The competition is higher in sprint cars in the late models compared to sprint cars at the moment, but higher R rating, that is. But when it comes to what we're seeing here tonight, and when we compare sprint car guys to late model guys, and this isn't being biased at all because I'm a sprint car guy, but you late model guys are the biggest crybabies on the service.
I mean, we got the loudest cars and the loudest whines, okay? So, you give and you take.
Sure, if that's how you want to go with it, we'll roll with it.
Hold on, let me pull another excuse out of the bag. Where'd I put that bag?
I think it's under your chair.
Oh yeah, I'll find one here somewhere. I've got plenty of excuses to make for these drivers.
What's the bet now that I've said that these yes. Evan C. High everything, including the egos. Yes. Oh, Evan, you took the words right out of my mouth. Lights still flashing here on the pace track again, just trying to get everybody, sort of trying to make sure that everybody is on the lead lap and where they need to be when it comes to starting positions.
I'll tell you what, I think Steven needs to write the rule book as a picture book. I think that would help.
It still wouldn't help. And I'll
maybe a coloring book.
I think a coloring book. And I'll throw this out there. I'm not going to categorize the late model guys, but
I think you already have. I'm pretty sure you have.
When it comes to following the rules, no one wants to follow them just because they're all racers and they all want to be up the front. They don't want to give up any spot.
I mean, cheating is racing, if history tells us anything.
I think Adam Thompson has bumped his head too many times.
Really missing those caution laps counting, honestly, right now. we got a long run after this green flag finally drops.
27 still to go. No, they don't burn fuel under caution, so they won't run out of fuel. So we're all good.
All right, I think everybody's in place and on the right page and learning to read, and I think we'll be able to go green now.
Yeah, it looks like the pace truck has taken its left-hand turn into pit road. Here we go. 27 laps left to run in tonight's main event. Devin Morgan, the race leader. Jordan Casey riding in second. Blake Brown third. Then you go back to Blake Majulis and Tyler Ducharme, who's still sitting in the top 5 at the moment. Now again, timing and scoring is showing Brent Fowler. There it goes. It fixed itself back up again. We're good.
Yep, Devin Morgan, Jordan Casey, and Blake Brown leading the field with Blake Majulis in that 4th spot, Tyler Ducharme in that 5th spot, and John Alatek rounding out your top 6. Looks like the top 5 really have started breaking away from the pack a little bit, and everybody kind of falling in line, trying to behave themselves a little bit. They all really tired of pacing around this place. They want to get racing.
Yeah, well, so they should. We've got a sprint car race to come up in just under 30 minutes' time, and whether we give these drivers an interview or not is going to be a different story depending on how long they take to get these final 25 laps in. 2/3 of the race complete, and well, look where a lot of the drivers are. They're down low, Jesse, through 1 and 2.
Yeah, a few drivers still sticking to that outside line, but a lot of cars, at least towards the back of the field, getting really sideways on that slick track. It's going to start getting really difficult to wheel these things around here as these more experienced drivers can find that speed on the low line, and the drivers that are a little bit more fresh are going to have a hard time keeping up with the pack.
All right, down into turn number 3 and 4. Morgan, Casey, and Blake Brown, the top 3 at the moment. That's your top 3 on screen. Devin Morgan, it took him about 12 to 13 laps to get to the front. Once he's been out in front, well, he hasn't really been challenged for the most part of 40-odd laps right now, but Casey's probably the closest that he's been under the long... I say long, it's 5 laps. That's a fair while for these guys right now.
Yeah, Casey's starting to close in on Morgan, but just as that is happening, Blake Brown is chasing down Casey too. I mean, just depending on when you look at them on track, Casey or Brown or Morgan are all getting a little close to each other and trading spots. So it's really hard to say how these top 3 are going to play out, but we're sitting here watching. We're going to find out.
Yeah, Devin Morgan actually getting away now from Jordan Casey in second. Blake Brown trying to make the move, and you look at how dirty Blake Brown's car is. The front end, the front bumper right now, it has got a lot of clay stuck on the front nose of that race car, and that's an indication of how much Blake Brown has actually had to wheel and pedal that thing from 15th up to position number 3, and well, he's not done with just yet. Yellow flag coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking for the source of that yellow. I'm not quite sure exactly where it came from. It might have been another admin yellow, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I see in text chat. I'm not sure if that's older or if that's the most recent.
Might be Duval or Sizemore, the two cars towards the tail end of the field right now. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying, when you look at the likes of the front nose. You see Blake Brown, on screen right now. Look how dirty that race car is. And then I'll go back and take a look at Tyler Ducharme. Again, Ducharme started, I think it was 17th, and he's made his way to position 4. Blake Majulis, now he started, if I bring up the thing here, he started position 4. However, I remember he actually went back to pit road to get some running repairs on the 127 machine, and he actually went to the back of the bus, so he's actually come through the field as well.
Yeah, Majulis shown time and time again that he's got the speed to cut through the riffraff, if you will, but he's had a couple of difficulties keeping it consistent at the front. He's been caught up in a couple of incidents, so we'll see if he can get a finish out of this good track position that he's found himself in here tonight.
Alright, so the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace truck. The DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. 75 laps around the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. You'll see 80 on the board. The first 5 laps are to get the drivers into the correct positions, plus the 4-wide salute. So 19 laps left to run out of this 75 lapper. And we are going back to green. So 56 is complete. And we're back underway. And Devin Morgan, like he's done so many times on a restart in the main event, he's just been able to get a good jump as Ducharme now. He's now going to move to the inside. Ducharme's going to move into position number 3.
Yeah, those top 5 spots just keep on switching up on us as Blake Brown looks to the inside of Ducharme. Is he going to be able to get his 3rd spot back, or is Ducharme going to be able to hold on that outside? Looks like Ducharme is just behind on Brown there on the back stretch, but it really could be anybody's position there as those two fight tandem through 3 and 4.
Yeah, good battle on for the final spot on the podium. It is Brown on the inside, Ducharme on the outside. That's your spot for P3 and P4 as Morgan, a 1.1 second advantage. He's just rolling through the slick. Look at Ducharme again, that left front just hiking up in the air on the exit of turn number 4, Jesse.
Yeah, Ducharme, Brett, is looking on that outside line. He's really trying to get some momentum going. I think he's got the spot on Blake Brown, but Blake Brown does have speed on that lower line. He's able to keep up, but just barely.
On board right now with Blake Brown into turn number 1 and 2. He will sail it in on the low side of the racetrack and just listen to that car off the throttle. But we'll see if we can get a run down into 3 and 4 to take back the 3rd spot. We'll go back and we'll watch Ducharme again reel it on the outside. Boy, Ducharme now, he will shut the door down into turn number 1 and 2. 14 laps. The laps are starting to wind down.
Yeah, Ducharme's migrated down to that lower line. That seems to be where the speed is. No, he's going to go for the outside line out of turn 4. He's getting up on that cushion, looking for that momentum as he pulls past Brown again on the home stretch. Ducharme, yeah, able to make that outside line work. Looks like Casey started to move up there and look for some speed there too. He's out all on his own in P2, so he's safe as Ducharme's got a battle on his hands with Blake Brown for P3.
Yeah, this battle has been going on for the last about 5 or 6 laps right now between Brown and Ducharme. This time it's Ducharme, and he's in the black and yellow number 9 machine, and you go back to the black and green 74 there. You won't be able to see those numbers from that view, but again, the colour difference between those two is obviously substantial. Yellow and green, they look nowhere near alike, but again, we'll come to 10 to go this time by for your race leader, Devin Morgan, out in front, and 10 laps left to run in tonight's 75-lap main event.
Yeah, it looks like if we go green the rest of this race, then we might have some lap traffic playing a role here for the leaders. Devin Morgan having a comfortable gap on P2 of Jordan Casey, and Jordan Casey also having a pretty comfortable gap on Ducharme and Brown. That might close, and with lap traffic coming up, all of those gaps might close, and we might see the field stack up here again.
Well, have a look at where your race leader is running, as he's done for probably the last 13 laps at the moment. No, we had 19 to go on that restart, didn't we? So he's about the last 11 laps. He's just been nice and smooth on the wheel, nice and smooth on the throttle, and right where I said he was going to be, where I said they were going to be in the last sort of 20 laps of this main event. Well, I think it's safe to say I was right on that one. But I tell you what, there is still a good battle for 3rd and 4th going on.
Yeah, that's right. Ducharme and Blake Brown really just not letting each other go. Somebody's going to come away in that 3rd spot. Somebody's going to get that podium interview, and it's only going to be one of them. So both of them want it. Both of them are fast enough to get it. It's just who can execute properly, who can be more consistent, who can be smoother, and who can hold on to their momentum.
6 laps left to run. Dustin Sizemore about to get put a lap down from the 112 in the TeamVLR.com entry. That is Devin Morgan out in front from lap 12, which would be lap 7. He has taken the race lead, and he has not been challenged ever since. It has just been a clean set of tyre tracks for the 112 as we've got 4.5 to go. This time by down into turn number 3 and 4. 4 laps left to go, 2 miles around the virtual Volusia Speedway Park.
That's right. Devin Morgan holding strong in that 1st spot. Jordan Casey miles behind, it seems, with Tyler Ducharme and Blake Brown kind of sorting themselves out a bit. Still a little scrappy, but it looks like they've kind of found a rhythm as they get sorted out here towards the end of this feature race tonight.
Just 3 laps left to run for Morgan, Casey and Ducharme, the top 3 at this stage. What has Blake Brown got for Ducharme in these final couple of circuits around Volusia. We'll see if Brown can make a pass to get back into a podium or whether he's just going to sit there and consolidate a third place finish. 2 laps left to run for Devin Morgan. A 1 make that a 2.3, nearly 2.4 second lead as Brown and Ducharme. They will both get by Dustin Sizemore on the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. And the white flag will fly here in tonight's main event of the DirtFan.com Super Late Model National Series. And out of turn number 2, down your back straightaway for the final time into turn number 3. It's been a long and winding road, but we finally get there. Devin Morgan will be victorious. Second will go to Jordan Casey. Third at the line, it's going to be Blake Brown. He took it away from Tyler Ducharme. Ducharme going to come home in position number 4, rounding out your top 5. Going to be Blake Majulis, Chris Fisher home in 6th, John Alatik 7th, 8th, Daniel Powell, Gavin Collins 9th, and Barry Sorensen to round out your top 10. We go back and look at 11th through to 20th, Eric Scalf, James Grace, Colton Zapansky, Alex Payne, and Dalton Cloyd, your top 15. Dustin Sizemore, William Duval, Aaron Kitchen, Mitch Stiles, Brent Fair, Dylan Hauser, Zach McSwain, Shane James, and Daniel Passmore as your winner. On screen, doing some celebratory donuts and a well-earned right to do some donuts there in turns 3 and 4. Well, we finally got there. It took us a while, but we got there nonetheless.
Yeah, it was quite a journey, but quite a race as well. A lot of good racing, a lot of multiple lines and crossovers, and a lot of stuff to dissect there.
All right, let's quickly chat to our podium here.
So fucking...
This is why you don't talk in the interview waiting room. I'm going to lock that room next time. But Devin, congratulations on the win. It took you 12 laps to get to the front, and well, from there you were never challenged. Congratulations on a dominant victory here at the Volusia Speedway Park.
Thank you. I'm just glad to be back in the booth here with you. It always...
That was a tough race to watch. So many yellows. What was it like from the cockpit of that race car?
Oh, it was pretty exciting there. I just tried to keep it straight through the slick and keep it driving forward, and with all them yellows and restarting, I was very close on fuel. And once I opened up a big gap on Casey, I just kind of went to saving, and I wasn't sure if it was to start sputtering if I pushed it hard that last lap, so I just let it coast, had it in neutral, and just let it roll.
All right, well, congratulations on a dominating performance here at the Volusia Speedway Park. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate a 1 and 3 with your teammate. But before we let you go, of course, sponsor shout-outs, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes it happen for you?
I got to thank my mom, my dad. I got to thank Dreamer Racing Series, Splash and Go Graphics, MPN Marketing, Wiley X Glasses. I got to thank Team VLR for everything they do for me. Evan C, he was telling me what to do here, and through Messenger, tell me what I need to do. And so I can't thank everyone on VLR enough.
All right, there we go. Devin Morgan home in first place tonight. Casey not here, but we'll quickly chat to our third place runner tonight, Blake Brown in car number 74. Blake, congratulations. You started 15th. You worked your way past 12 cars en route to a third place finish after this one. And a long time to get here, but nonetheless, you got here and you get third.
Yeah, it was a long time, man. Them cautions were brutal, but it was a good race. I didn't know Tyler messed up. I figured we'd cross the line pretty close, but he said he messed up there at the end. But good for me, anyways, in the points.
I can tell you 0.175 of a second, so just shy of 2/10 between yourself and Ducharme. Did you think that in those last 5 laps, did you think that you were actually going to get back to him because he'd sort of pulled away from you there?
No, I didn't. That restart that killed me. I pushed like a dump truck there, and I knew it. I was planning on getting 4th, but somehow I started hitting that bottom pretty good, and it started reeling him in a little bit.
Well, Blake, congratulations. 15th up to 3rd. We'll let you get out of here. We'll let you thank some sponsors before we let you go, and congratulations on this podium.
Thanks. I got Team VLR, iRacing, iFlag, C High Performance, Dirty Grass Soul, and big thanks to Evan for getting us going, and everybody at Team VLR.
All right, there we go. That was Blake Brown, third place runner here tonight. That'll wrap us up. We'll quickly get things shut off and get set for the 410 winged sprint cars in about 20 minutes time. So again, on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, we want to thank our sponsors as well. Big thanks to Wicked Cushion, World of Thunder, R Racing League. I've done it again. I forgot my train of thought. Dirtfan.com. I'll get there eventually. Let me just... I'm trying to do 17 different things at once. No. Settle down, mate. What are you doing throwing 3 plugs there? No, listen. It's just... You don't go out there throwing just names out and just free shameless plugs. Critical Hit Baits, ISBC Broadcasting, and iRace Wraps. On behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, the management behind the scenes, we say farewell, good night. We'll see you back shortly for the 410s.